I'm scared. Stop calling me.
I'm a bit scared too.
Don't say that.
You're not going to scream.
There's a place I have never been, on the cover of a magazine, alright. Gotta stay till the bitter end, I'm the upshot of foreign trends, alright. Is it time for
Alright guys, well we're here in Melbourne at the 4-wheel drive show and we've run into Jack, mate.
Long time no see.
It's been a few months. We're in the D-Max show last
Yeah,
night.
went for a ride on 2 wheels and maybe we should do the same thing again today.
I will be down for that. But right now, we are going to have a look at some of the craziest cars I've seen. I mean, I've been to America, I've seen some crazy shit.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
you know, like in Australia, this is unseen, really.
Yeah.
So what have we got here? How did they start? Run us through modifications and whose crazy idea it was. And
Well, so basically, yeah, we were at a 4-wheel drive show last year and my boss Wayne said, oh, the guys at Toyo Tyres want to put these really big muddies on it. What are your thoughts? And I'm like, oh, pretty big, but surely we can make it work somehow. And next minute I'm driving down to pick up a couple of cars, brand new
so it started
LSTs.
with the tyre.
Yeah, started with the tyres and
Build a car around it.
we bought the cars from Isuzu and then thought, oh, I'd put this tyre on. It's like, actually there's a bit of work involved in trying to make this thing fit.
Bog stock D-Max and MUXs.
They were brand spanking new, top of the range, LST, MUX and D-Max. Yep, brand new.
Well, they're a little different now, so I guess run us through what you had to do to make them fit the tyres.
So
that seems to be the only goal here.
Yeah. So basically, obviously the offset of the tyre is quite wide, so we needed to build all custom guards to house the tyres. So steel guards, bumpers, front and rear are all aluminium, all handmade, hand fabricated. So there's plenty of hours of welding and grinding and painting that. They've got active winches front and back, so all that stuff works. They're lifted like 7 inches or something. It's a gigantic lift kit.
You have to do a diff drop to be able
Diff
to-
drops,
yeah.
correct, yep. So we have to make all that work for CV angles and everything. So it's got standard shafts and all that jazz in it.
So standard diffs.
Standard diffs.
Standard ratios.
Yep.
And
So
they had no problems turning these 38s.
no, so we basically, the main work we've done with them is in low range. So we've done a bit of 4-wheel driving for photo shoots and stuff. And yeah, low range, and they just crawl up anything in there.
I guess the speedo will be out a little bit.
Yeah, probably. I haven't really checked it on the road, to be honest, because I haven't driven them on the street. But
I got a trade plate in the car, mate.
you want the keys? And yeah, installed 4-spot brakes all around on them. So that's a custom build there, and the D-Max, we've converted it to a coil sprung disc brake rear.
So that's got the rear that came with.
Correct.
So the
Yeah.
difference, I mean, between a D-Max and an MUX, obviously the most notable difference is the fact one's a tray back.
Yeah, and that's a 7-seater.
Yep. These have a leaf spring rear.
Yeah, because normally obviously you put weight in the back of them, and they can carry a slightly heavier trailer.
Yeah.
So we've just converted that because clearly there's no tow bar anymore. You're not putting much in the back of that
If
ute.
it was a tow bar, the caravan's going to be dragging along the ground anyway.
So it just improves the ride a little bit, and yeah, helps in the off-road stuff, and yeah, we obviously the bonnets are fairly extravagant, and
The engine, no extra power mods.
no standard everything in the engine bay and transmission wise. So yeah, we have great success with the engines, and we punish them in the precision driving cars. And
Yeah, well, I am keen to see some of the off-road footage that you've
Yes,
got of
yep,
it.
yep.
So to do all this, I mean, the rear end, the multi-link suspension, is that the standard suspension just modified?
so yeah, it's all different lengths. It's actually like obviously we made brackets up and stuff to drop everything down, so the arms and stuff are all operating at equal lengths, and it'll work. So I had to extend brake lines, extend all the ABS
breathers,
lines,
all that stuff.
breathers, a whole lot, obviously, because it's such a big lift.
Yeah.
But for example, we drove these into a river crossing when we were doing the photo shoot, and the water was up around the bottom of the doors,
Which a normal car
and that would be
would be
well
in
over
the car.
well over the headlights. Yeah.
So I mean, we had people on the live stream asking why there's no snorkel.
If you need a snorkel in this thing, you're floating down the River Murray. There's definitely not a requirement on these cars, but yeah, they just seem to do everything we want, and we're quite happy with the finished product.
Gotcha. Wheels and tyres, what are they?
So they're a method wheel, they're a 20-inch, and obviously a Toyo mud terrain 38. So it's a massive mud terrain tyre.
Factory, what are they, 30, 31? Like just something like that?
Yeah, they're a 17-inch wheel, or 18-inch wheel, sorry, on an LST. So we use the 17s on our LSUs for the two-wheeling stuff, but they come...
overall diameter of the factory ones wouldn't be more than...
Yeah, no, they're put in next to each other. When we first got the wheel sent to us from Toyo, they arrived before we'd done anything to the cars, and I sat one next to a car and I thought, how is this going to fit? Like, it was bigger than the circumference of the guard. So
wider is this car?
yeah, they're like 2.4 metres wide.
2.4 metres wide.
Yeah, they only just fit inside a semi-trailer. And it's quite a weird feeling because you're driving them and it feels like you're driving a normal car until you look out the mirror and you can just see how wide they really are. So you've got to be quite aware of your surroundings when you drive them.
And off-road, I found them pretty capable.
Yeah, and they're quite softly sprung.
Yep.
So they seem to, they got really good articulation.
Front, right?
Yeah, live rear, correct. So we put them through some pretty big ruts and stuff in the photo shoot. Yep. And we actually were picking wheels up in an extreme rut where you wouldn't drive anything near standard through, and it was still picking a wheel up, but it's a big hole like it was driving through. And the ABS system, how it works, the traction control, it just locks the wheels that are spinning and puts drive the other wheels, and away you go. No, because we just extended the standard wiring harness, and the computers just work it all out themselves. So
That's impressive.
yeah, so it's good. It's quite challenging building them though, because obviously the bumpers are solid mounted to the chassis, and the bumper and like the bodywork moves on the chassis. So it got a bit complicated with like the MUX rear bumper because it's normally on the body, but now we've mounted it on the chassis. So there's a lot of scratching heads as to getting flex. So
this bit here will actually...
that moves, yeah. So it's designed to do that, but it was quite challenging to get your head around that.
So the body actually will move this stage.
Yeah, so the body is rubber mounted and the bars are on the chassis. So that's how you get the maximum strength in all that for impacts and whatnot.
Now, why don't we see you doing two-wheeling in these ones? Centre of gravity.
We might do a few photo shoots with them first. But yes, I reckon the two-wheeling that you won't have to be up anywhere near as high for that centre of gravity. I reckon it'll just pop straight up.
Yeah. That's probably why it's not road legal. I'm going to hazard a guess.
Yeah. We might need to get friendly with some engineers to get a rego plate put on it, but I think it's achievable for sure.
Yeah. So these are remote canister shock absorbers, what it looks like.
Yes,
as well.
sure. Just to get a bit more fluid for the shock, so you can control all the movement. We just put a stainless straight pipe on it. It still runs the
twin exhaust.
Yeah, still runs the deeper D fluid and that sort of jazz for the engine ECU.
Yeah, and this rear winch setup is so it's actually got a separate electric winch at the back.
The two winches. So each car has a front and a rear winch. They're just a Bluetooth operated winch. So I haven't had to use them yet, but they are fully operational.
How long did it take to build them?
I picked them up early January.
Wait, you did this year?
Yes, early
I'm still
January.
waiting for my Toyota.
Isuzu, mate, that's your problem. So yeah, early January we picked them up, and obviously it took a while to get tyres and stuff.
Yep.
Because they all come from overseas. And lots of time and effort in trying to go from CAD design to reality. So that's where most of the work has been, and then all the final bits of fit out. So making all the side steps, they're all handmade, you know, and making the fog lights fit and all that sort of jazz just takes so much time
That interior
to do.
says factory?
Factory, so they're a full leather interior for
Heated seats?
both these cars. No heated seats, but
Mate.
not required. It's great. Yeah. But it's actually still a brand new car. This car's only got about 300 or 400 Ks on it. That one doesn't even have 200 Ks on it yet. So
We should change that, mate. We really need to take these out.
take them for a
no
drive.
One's going to stop
yeah. Nothing will stop them.
So do we know how much they weigh by chance?
That is one thing I don't think we've actually done.
Okay.
But
it shouldn't be much. I mean, there's extra
the wheel and tyre package is fairly heavy. So
impressive, yeah.
so I remember picking them up from getting fit at the tyre shop, and I'm glad the ute that I had a tailgate loader, because I had to put them on there, put them on the old tailgate loader to stack them up, because they are fairly heavy.
And now, when you went out bush, did you have a jack that could lift the cars if you had a problem with a tyre? I see you've got spare tyres.
Yes.
Do you have a jack?
Well, we have a factory jack, and you probably could fit that under the diff mount somewhere and just get one wheel up at a time. I don't reckon we'll have enough travel to extend the suspension.
So you didn't even take any recovery, you know?
They're Toyo tyres, mate. They're not going to go flat. We don't worry about that sort of stuff.
Gotcha. Height, how tall are they when you're going in underground car parks?
I've got it written down, but I can't
Well, you
remember
know
off the top of my head.
2.4 wide. It's gonna
Yeah,
have to probably be
I'm
that
really
at
good
least
with
high.
widths, but they are very high.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm going to say close to 3 metres.
what am I, 6 foot?
Yeah. So you're almost,
on
yeah.
me.
They're like that, yeah. They're at least 20. I reckon it might be 2,500, close, yeah, a bit higher maybe.
Where'd you take it out to when you went off road?
We went out near the Wombian Caves down in the Southern Highlands.
Yeah, you went through
So,
some water crossings.
Went through a lot of river crossings to the point where Scott, one of our bosses, was driving this one and he just drove, like there's a river crossing with a track through it, and then he just turned right and just started driving down the river. And we're like, is he going to come back? And he's just sailing along and it's getting deeper and deeper. I'm like, he's probably got
How
it.
far did you get it up to?
Like it was at the bottom of the doors.
Which is,
So the tyres were almost fully submerged.
I need these videos, mate.
Yeah,
I need these
it was
videos.
and we were driving the standard D-Max and MUX through the river crossing on the track.
Yeah.
And he just went off into the river, and we're thinking, we can't really even recover him if he gets stuck because we can't go out there, and I don't really want to go swimming. So
Well, he's the boss.
he's
I
all by
suppose.
himself. Yeah.
He's allowed. Dare I ask how much they cost? Ballpark. I
That
guess-
I don't know.
And probably they'll never tell us.
Yeah, that's our boss's scenario and their issue, I think. And I know we bought the cars, and then I guess like most projects, that all the costs spiral out of control, don't they?
I don't want to know about
Yeah,
it.
so no one talks about money when it comes to projects. I don't
It
talk
just
about
makes
money
me
when it comes to
sad.
rallying
It just
because you
makes me
think,
sad.
oh,
Hey, someone else is on 2 wheels. They've stolen your job.
yeah, well, that's good. I might have the afternoon off now.
All right, mate. Well, thank you very much for running us through all that.
No worries.
And next time, hopefully, we'll be inside the cars.
Yes, going for a run.
Yeah, two-wheeling through the
We'll go
car
bush.
park.
We won't worry about the ramp here. We'll just go bush and them and go and have some fun.
We'll find the botanical gardens.
Yeah, that's the go.
See you, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Have a
Cheers.
good rest of your weekend.
We'll do, you too. Thank you.
Okay. Oh my god, I'm already freaking out. I can even feel it going. Oh my god.
Down now.
Yeah, how was that?
Let's go again.
Well, you're going in this one now.
Okay, this one.
Have you ever been on a 45 That's a good song.
Take a trip down an easy street.
I'm a bit scared too.
That's where all the losers meet. Alright.
You ready?
Bang their heads on the concrete wall for easy access to double walls. Alright. There's no
Here we go. So we're going to go down on 45 back to the top. Here we go. You right? They work, see?
And then he just got to do like some
There we go.
Beautiful sunny day here in Melbourne. Catered event. Found somewhere nice and cool to stay out of the sun. Sun smart and all that, you know.
I see